one. Where are we? Anybody know where we are? Can you get me that wide shot, please? That I work. Hey, we know where we are. We're in Fantasyland. Fantasy Island for you, Gino. Have you been to Fantasy Island?
Every day is Fantasy Island for Daddy.
Wow.
Very good.
I love this shot. Keep this going for a little bit. And, this is just part of the story of the amazing America First Warehouse and how it's come about. This little banner, Once Upon a Time, is a story of, Johnny, good story?
Once upon a time, I think every story starts with that, doesn't it?
Yeah. and Once Upon a Time usually has an incredible ending as well. Right. One of the things I picked up in this horrific news cycle, and you guys got it, was the assassination attempt on our great president, Donald J. Trump, and the evil spirits that continually try to smash him. Right, with the storylines that they come up. One such story I heard. Well, you know what? Before I jump into this great platform, I want to say hello to my friends. To my right is Johnny Blanket, my brother, my handsome brother. Him and I were doing chair exercises, weren't we? Did you know
what's unbelievable? To be able to do something that you love, coming here to the America First Warehouse Tuesdays. I just love it. I love being here. I love being part of the being in front. So our media campus is trying to build, and I'm from the old school, so I catch my America First podcasts, all of them through YouTube. But I guess it's best to go through the app. Anyway, make America great, and I'm looking forward to get started about a few things. I already have my notes.
Yes, Johnny, good point about the way to see the show many different ways. We want to develop it through the app because the social media platforms like TikTok doesn't show us anymore. Anyway, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
I have Lisa Azzarelli here. She's going to be covering the news. What's happening, Lisa? So happy to have you here.
Always awesome to be here, guys, especially now with spring blossoming. Perfect time to be in the most patriotic venue in the universe.
I must say, that's a beautiful shot of you, that camera shot. Go back to Lisa for a second. Look at that. She is perfect in all ways. She's bringing the news. We're going to go. Don't let Gino try and slide in there. You could get out of your chair. All right, let's go to Gino.
Put a seatbelt on.
Yeah. He's like a squiggly little guy worm over there trying to get out. Get Gino, what's going down?
Forgot my headband. Don't look directly at me.
Where is your headband?
I only have 60 or so in the car.
You're not a superhero without it.
Run out. The show
Without my headband, I'm just one of you guys. I'm a mere mortal.
You look like Ernie. I'm not sure
Got
if
his
it's
name
Ernie
on
or
his
Gino.
shirt.
Ernie or Gino. We know it's Gino. Now, I see that Gino's wearing a shirt to remind everybody. Can you zoom in on that? Get
A
that up
fan.
What does it say?
There's a guy that looks just like me, and he was wearing a shirt like this with a headband. I saw him on social media. I thought he was me. And I said, and he was making fun. I'm like, I think he was making fun of me. I'm like, I want that shirt. And he sent it to me. So there you go.
That's
got
pretty
your
good.
Charger stuff from the NFL draft, professional comedian. So if there's any questions when, I make brilliant political insights, we're like, he's got to be joking. This guy's an idiot. So the shirt covers me.
You really do impress me with your brain power and your wit that comes across. And I would say that shirt, you nailed it. You are a professional.
I'm just confused on professional because you have to get paid to be a professional.
Well, I mean,
I said that before, so thank you.
Coffee and hot dogs and maybe a cigar.
I spent all my comedy pay on the workout thing that's going.
This time you finally bought a ticket. I'm happy.
Hey, you know who's on the front line all the time? KDJ, radio, TV, podcast, and hangs out with us. What's happening, KDJ?
Well, it's probably the best day of our lives for a couple of reasons. Number one, Trump dodged another bullet because the animals are not going to stop trying to kill him. They're savages. They can't help themselves. Today, breaking news. Fauci's right-hand man just got pinched for lying to the United States of America, hiding federal documents. And there's emails of him saying, don't worry, I know how to hide this stuff. We'll be fine. We'll never get FOIA'd. And he got FOIA'd. He FOIA'd out and he FOIA'd around and he found out. Where go that? He's done. It's going to be great. This guy's going to flip on Fauci.
I can't wait to see him not go to jail. Yeah. No one goes to jail.
I can't see him not go to jail. That's a great one, Gino.
I can't wait to.
I
no
can
one
see
goes
it.
to
I
jail.
imagine it all the time.
What's
It is
that?
frustrating.
Seeing these guys get locked up and being perp walked, I think about it a lot.
Who's go?
I never want to hurt anybody, but I'd like to see him go to jail. Who's going to go to jail?
No
Cash
one.
Patel. Cash Patel said there's a bunch
Cash
of them going
Patel's
to go.
not
Yeah,
going to
Cash
jail.
Patel. He's been talking about. He goes, this is happening. This
You
is
know, with the
happening.
coup with Obama.
I'll be ecstatic. I'll be ecstatic.
This is separate from that. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All right,
I,
listen.
no, I think that before the midterms, Trump's going to say, "All right, we got Fauci, we got this one, that one. Come on, let's vote for Republicans."
I think it's going to be very good for us. But I tell you what, the news cycle's pretty rough. And Lisa, I didn't put you on the spot earlier. You were going to send me the list. Usually, she's very good, thorough. Bop, 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 bop. What's
Talking
going
points.
on? Top stories. So I'm going to let you handle that on your own.
Oh, I
Top
love
stories, Lisa.
I love it. Bringing you the news headlines as always. So, of course, KDJ we mentioned, and our lovely Gino, who never interferes with anyone, has said that Trump's assassination attempt, we saw that in the headlines. We know that it was a man named Cole Allen, only 31 years old, and a Caltech graduate, an engineer, so someone educated. But, of course, we learned that he graduated in 2017 and then went for another master's in science in 2025. So there's a big span of not really working. He was a substitute tutor. Something was missing there, obviously. He couldn't hold down a job for a possible reason that he was engaged in too much activity trying to track what was wrong with America and how he was going to fix it, as his manifesto put it. So Mr. Allen attempted to assassinate President Trump, third attempt, at the White House
least.
correspondent dinner. And so what we learned is that he basically rented a hotel room and he charged past the magnetometers, as I think they're called. I'm just learning that, which are the metal detectors, shooting one officer and then proceeding to try and get into the ballroom. That luckily did not happen. But what we can learn from that is how these people are basically indoctrinated and incited to do the actions that they're taking. So that's something that we need to explore.
You left out.
Tell me, Gino.
You left out, and I'm being silly, of course, but you left out the man that was shot was working for free while the Dems are holding up the funding, okay, for the Department of Homeland Security. And while all our tax dollars are going to idiots that are easily indoctrinated, and literally the press is backing them up by literally standing in front of the president and be like, well, he called you a pedophile and a criminal, and what was the other thing?
Traitor.
Traitor. Thank you so much.
Thank
and
you,
she
Kevin.
says that to Trump like he's going to be like, "Ah, you got me.
Yeah.
Ah, you got me."
Yeah.
Just begging the next idiot. Don't get up, Kevin. Begging the next moron right there, John. Begging
Oh, my gosh.
the next weak-minded simpleton. Hi, how you doing?
You're not gonna hurt my
get a
feelings.
gun and try it himself.
Yep.
Well,
What am I missing?
I heard he was hearing voices, though.
Yeah.
So
That's what you left out, Lisa.
No, he
That
was
was-
hearing voices, and the voices that he heard was CNN, MSNBC,
Someone's right.
Good one,
The View. He
Someone's
watching
right.
The View a lot,
Good one,
so
Johnny.
he heard voices in his head.
Yeah, he did. He
Yeah.
did from all the great networks. Okay, listen, that was pretty good, Gino. It was good input on top of that. I appreciate it. But,
Correct.
You know, it's still Lisa's time. We got some time. We
I
got some more.
apologize. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I love sharing my time with
Try and
this
stay in your
awesome
seat.
crew.
Sorry.
You kidding
Claiming
me?
my time.
Everything's
I'm
loose without my
reclaiming
head.
my time.
Everything's
Reclaiming my
wonky
time.
without my headband.
Without the
Stuff's
headband.
Your Honor,
spilling
will you
out.
break this up?
Maxine
So-
Waters, I'm reclaiming my time.
Hasn't shown up for a
Reclaiming my
vote.
time.
Raskin's
Having
been
too
covering her
much fun
vote,
today.
too.
Oh man, she's a booger woman.
She don't
she's
show
such a
up.
snotty
Doesn't-
head.
Oh, my goodness.
Reclaiming my time.
I'm sorry, what were you saying, Lisa?
On that note, another piece of news is Lee Zeldin and the way he scorched rep from, wait, what is her name? Not that I want to know. Rosa DeLauro from Connecticut.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Purple-haired freak show.
beautiful to watch. She did not know the law about the environmental protection. So it was wonderful. And she said, "You're here asking for money from us. And, you know, you're being defiant." He said, "No, you just don't like my answer that you don't know the law." So very, very interesting exchange. And it just goes to show how, again, the Democrats, it seems, if we take actions speak louder than words, manipulating what they do not know and trying to fool the public with just hearsay and, fear tactics, such as climate change is, going to destroy everything. Then we have Dr. David Morenz, that this is the person that KDJ was speaking of. He seems to be the first one being brought down in the Fauci dynasty. So basically, he was the former senior advisor, and he did hide the FOIAs, which will lead nicely into our guest today, Scott Schara, who wrote an amazing book regarding his own daughter's death at the hands of the medical industrial complex.
Wow, that's good stuff.
That is amazing. And I know that the news can continue on and on because there's so much of it. But we had done something, Lisa, the other night where we had shared a story of the 1916 Project. And that was this Margaret Sanger creating the control. It was population control.
Sure.
Is really what they were doing.
Yeah.
And now they took it off the buildings. There's all kinds of change coming. The Christianity is coming back very, very strongly into this country, and I believe that's something that we need. And that is a piece of news, because I do believe that Donald Trump is currently wearing the armor of God that's written about in Ephesians, the Old Testament, with the helmet, with the breastplate, with the belt of truth. And he is doing what's good for us in this country. And I think pretty sure anybody want to jump in and debate.
I thought it was pretty amazing of him to, he wanted to continue the event. Obviously, protocol doesn't call for that. But his first interview was on the 60 Minutes.
Nora.
Why would you be on 60 Minutes, Why didn't you do that on Solomon? Anyway, I have my thoughts on it, and I'm sure we could talk about it in a little bit in the next segment or so.
Yeah, well, the next segment, too. Who's coming in again? Can you give us a little recap on that with 18 seconds left?
Scott Schara, you want to stay tuned to the story of this father's grief and how it became his light to writing a book and exposing medical industrial complex's sins. It's going to be amazing. Stay tuned.
Probably gonna make
Don't
us
leave
angry.
the most
Lisa, you're
patriotic
amazing.
venue.
Chino's bringing you down.
Most people think they have options when searching for the best deals when they travel. But here's the shocking truth. 100% of the major travel agencies are owned by just two entities, Expedia and Booking Holdings. They claim to offer the lowest rates, but due to the hotel rate parity agreement, they all have the same pricing, limiting genuine competition. When you book through these sites, you act as your own travel agent, but the profits are going to organizations that don't support our patriot values. We cannot allow that to continue. So, we decided to make travel great again by starting a US-based travel membership platform, mypatriottravel.com. We are patriots helping patriots. Together, we can disrupt the travel industry by not spending our hard-earned dollars supporting the radical left. For just $29.99 per month, you gain access to true wholesale rates on travel, saving you on average 35% and up to 65%. Book as often as you like, with no limits. Keep your hard-earned dollars in your pocket and spend them on things you need and want to support. Go to mypatriottravel.com/TAFW and grab your membership today. mypatriottravel.com/TAFW. Making travel great again.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
I'm sure you guys remember the platinum single, Justice for All, with Donald Trump and the J6 Prison Choir. We'll get ready for round two. We're coming out with Anthem of the Free with High Res and the J6 Prison Choir. It's coming out now. It's pre-sale until December 19th when it drops. Get yours on all platforms, Google Play, Apple iTunes. Get it. It's going to be hot.
Justice for all, our voices ring, the anthem of the free.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our voices
sure. Hey, we're back here at the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land, and we want to bring to you great people, great patriots that love the country and feel the way we do, honoring God, our family, and our country. And Lisa, we got a guest coming in, right? Let's introduce him and let him have it.
Yeah, I'm honored to introduce Scott Schara, the author of Is the Government Legally Killing Us? This is an amazing story about Scott's daughter, Grace, and her experience, unfortunate experience in a hospital, medical, supervised by medical guidance that is known as direct and indirect. He'll get more into it on how the standard treatment of care is concerned in this matter, but Scott's experience details carefully, as he refers to it, the moment that broke him when his daughter passed became also the light for him, such as in the book of Esther, is this the time that such a time such as this, time such as this. And so we welcome Scott now to speak about this experience and the contents of this amazing story. Scott, welcome.
Welcome, Scott.
Well, thanks for having me. God bless you both.
So, Scott, I have had the opportunity to watch an interview with you regarding this book and the particulars surrounding Grace. She was born with Down syndrome. She was, however, high functioning, thanks to you and your wife Cindy's guidance and care for her medically throughout her life, and her other siblings. And so during COVID, she became ill, and you were concerned about her oxygen saturation levels. And very wisely, as any good father would do, you went to the hospital. You inquired as to whether or not she, should get a proper treatment. They had advised you that she should stay at the hospital for around 3 or 4 days so that they could simply provide oxygen. Things went terribly wrong. Can you please explain to us why it went wrong? What is standard treatment of care? How the PrEP Act rolled into this, and how this horrific experience became a light for you?
Sure. So you asked me multiple questions.
I know.
The first thing is
This'll
I
keep
have
him
to
busy.
acknowledge that I'm a man, and so men can only do one thing at a time. So I'm going to attempt to remember all of your questions, but the odds of me getting through them all are about 0% because of my condition. So that being said, something you said in your open, I just want to make sure I zero in on, because when you start walking through things like this, the first step should always be to shine the light on yourself. And you said that I wisely took Grace to the hospital, and unfortunately, that was not a wise decision.
Right,
it was a program decision.
Wow.
I was programmed to trust the medical system, and in that light, what happens when you're programmed to do something and fear takes over, you end up not trusting God. And I had made a God out of the medical system, thought hospitals were safe. And praise God, I mean, he's opened up my eyes to do all the research that I've done to shed his light on what in fact is going on in the hospital. And it's not just about COVID. COVID showed how far they've gone with this agenda, but COVID opened my eyes. We thought that Grace had COVID. We followed the less evil frontline COVID critical care doctors protocol, which meant we put her on ivermectin vitamins and ultimately bought a pulse oximeter and started measuring her oxygen. That's another foolish decision, because we did not have any baseline whatsoever to even measure her oxygen. What I have learned subsequent is that when people get a cold or flu, their oxygen saturation in fact drops, but the protocol said that if your oxygen saturation drops via that instrument to 94% or below, admit yourself to the hospital. Grace just had a cold. If I would have never taken her to the hospital, she would be alive today. But I did trust the system. I trusted the ER doctor's recommendation to admit her and put her on oxygen and a steroid as a precautionary, and ultimately Grace was dead 7 days later. And the reason she was dead 7 days later is because what they did was combined Precedex, lorazepam, and morphine, which are contraindicated drugs, in a 26-minute window. And this was after, so the morning of Grace's last day, October 13th of 2021, Cindy, my wife, and I had a conversation with the doctor. At this point, I was not in the room with Grace. I had been taken out by an armed guard 3 days earlier. Our daughter Jessica was now in the room with Grace. Grace was doing well. And the doctor had a call with us that morning explaining how well Grace was doing, that we should get her out of bed today, get her on feeding so that we can get her bowels moving and get her out of the hospital in the next several days. Well, interestingly, as we put together the information for the lawsuit, we found that, in fact, that phone call started at 10:12 in the morning. Before the call ever happened, he had strapped Grace down to the bed because she wanted to get out of the bed to go to the bathroom. And while the call was happening, the nurse, which was an ICU nurse with Grace, her only patient, had increased Precedex to the maximum allowable dose. Simultaneous with hanging up the call, the doctor put an illegal do not resuscitate order on Grace's chart. So then later on that afternoon, when they combined Precedex with lorazepam and morphine, Jessica saw Grace's numbers, Jessica's our daughter, saw Grace's numbers tank, and she called Cindy and I immediately on FaceTime and said, Dad, Grace's numbers are dropping like crazy. I said, get the nurses in. She said, they won't come in. So we started screaming through that FaceTime call, save our daughter, and they responded back from outside the hallway, she's DNR. Do not resuscitate. And we screamed, she's not DNR, save our daughter. And they refused and obeyed the doctor's order instead of saving Grace. And, you know, praise God, we had the first lawsuit, probably the only one that will ever go to jury trial with COVID as the cause of death on the death certificate, partly because of the PrEP Act. You had mentioned that in your opening questions. You know, the PrEP Act, what it did was whenever the Health and Human Services Secretary declares a public health emergency, even if it's a PSYOP like COVID, we are then bound by the rules and the laws that go along with that public health emergency, and one of them is the PrEP Act. So the countermeasures that were developed for COVID, specifically the ones everybody knows about, remdesivir and ventilators, they had kill rates of 75% and 90% respectively. Well, the reason, so you think, oh, how did we have a lawsuit? Well, we never agreed to remdesivir or a ventilator. And because of that, we were able to thread the needle. And even though Grace's official cause of death, which is a lie on the death certificate, is COVID, we were able to thread the needle and expose what happened to Grace to the entire country. The trial was live streamed. Over 1 million people saw parts of the trial. It was a 3-week jury trial. We lost 11-1 in favor of the defense, which anybody that watched it, of course, was shocked. I was shocked also, but I was not surprised because I knew what we were getting into before we stepped foot in that courtroom. And it's quite an uphill battle to get in. You know, we're in the Antichrist medical system, and the Antichrist legal system is in bed with that medical system. So anyway, hopefully I answered all those opening questions, and we'll get back to more questions.
Yeah, I have Gino biting at the bit. You got something, Gino. What
I'm
do you got?
livid. I mean, and I'm sorry that the government, and I don't want to be, I'm so sorry for your loss. And I'm sorry that the government, what they did was, your daughter was one of the many people, they literally drowned. What remdesivir did was shut down your kidneys and then your lungs filled with water. And that's why they were like, oh, don't put that they died of, you know, whatever it's called, pulmonary edema. Don't put that. Right. Say that they died of COVID while they're trying to unload this crappy remdesivir stuff. And what happens when you flood the lungs? Well, I guess we need ventilators. And if you ever tear your ACL or anything and you go for rehab and the guy just starts moving your leg and doesn't make you do the work, what's going to happen? Nothing. Nothing's going to heal. And when they took you off the ventilators, your lungs were done. So this is just how evil it is. And wow. I know I'm preaching to the choir, and I'm livid for you. So forgive me, sir, if there was an ounce of, you know, just crassness in what I'm saying, because I cannot believe what they did to you and your daughter. I'm so sorry.
So it's in appeal now, or they ruled 11-1. So 11 people didn't believe there was a case for you?
Well, they heard the whole case, and our medical expert, Dr. Gilbert Burdine, he said by giving Grace morphine at the time they did. At 6:09, according to the medical records, they reported Grace's blood pressure as non-detectable. They gave Grace the morphine at 6:15, 6 minutes later. He said that was the worst clinical decision he's ever seen in 46 years of medical practice. In fact, after he reviewed Grace's records, he decided to come on with the legal team and represent us at the trial. It's the first time we ever represented a plaintiff. I was the plaintiff at the trial. He's only represented the defense. And he, because of he thought he was called to do this, he didn't take a penny personally for the hundreds of hours he invested. So, you asked, is it under appeal? I filed a motion for a new trial on October 29th. The judge scheduled a hearing on December 19th and denied the motion for new trial. The basis of the motion for new trial was the judge had denied our motions in limine in the pretrial. Motions in limine are the things that you want to exclude from the trial. And he had granted many of the defense's motions in limine, but when it came time to discuss ours, he unilaterally said, all of plaintiff's motions in limine are denied. And we had two specific. One was to prevent my religious beliefs from coming into the trial. Jesus. And second, to prevent all the research I've done post Grace's death from coming into the trial. So when he denied those, the defense was able to paint me as a conspiracy nut to the jury.
Wow.
This sounds like common practice for our government. Sounds like the same thing they pulled on the January 6s. Sounds like the same thing they pulled on the parents, like Kelly John Walker, my friend and your friend as well, from Freedom Talk Magazine. Will you stick around for another segment for us? Because I'd like to give some of my friends here an opportunity to go back to ask you some additional questions. Can you do that?
Thank you, Scott.
Sir, and if there's something for him to think about, because we got 16 seconds left, Kev, hit him a question. He can think about it, and we'll come back and answer.
Well, here's an easy one. How close do you live to one of the Great Lakes?
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, so you notice I don't have an accent.
2 seconds left. We're coming right back.
Ready to move and celebrate freedom like never before. The America First Warehouse proudly presents Freedom in Motion, America 250. Join Lisa for an electrifying dance fitness fundraiser designed to get your heart pumping and your spirit soaring. This dynamic 6-week session is perfect for all fitness levels, whether you're just starting out or ready to level up your routine. Feel the energy of an epic patriotic playlist. Boost your fitness, learn exciting new moves, and relieve stress while having an absolute blast. All for just $100 per person, and it all supports a great cause. Spots are limited, so don't wait. Come dance, get fit, and celebrate America 250 in motion.
Politics feeling broken? What if you could match with politicians the way you match on a dating app, but based on real values? Meet OpScore from GoUSA, the first ever values-based political matchmaker. Think Match.com for elections that aligns voters with politicians. We score politicians on a nonpartisan scale based on your priorities. Track your politician scores and take our OpScore Challenge survey to match with leaders who align with you at opscore.org. Stop voting blind. Start matching smart. Politicians work for you.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
If the vote count is accurate, then how come the number of voters is different? And if it's not accurate, then why was it certified? We are suing Letitia James and the New York State Board of Elections for a conspiracy against fundamental rights. This is not about who won. It's not about what party. It's about the fact that they don't care about your rights.
It's me, Joe the Box. And I'm John the Blanket with the America First Podcast.
That's what I'm talking about. The Fred Rubino Podcast coming to you from the America First Warehouse.
Welcome, everybody, to the James Justice Show, tearing these airwaves apart with all the craziness that goes on in the world.
Welcome to the Patriots Podcast. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the On the Right Side podcast here at the America First Warehouse in Long Island, New York.
Shane Jenkins here with another episode of Liberty's Cage. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, Red, Right, and True.
We are streaming live on America First Media and Television app.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Downey Jr. podcast. Be free, stay free.
And we're back.
We are.
And we're back with Scott and his story of his daughter Grace. The people, United States citizens, and the people of this country are paying a very heavy price for the actions of the Democratic Party and the actions of the Joe Biden illegal, and there's an illegal regime that came in. They have weaponized the government. They've weaponized the lawfare. And when you look at it, they've gotten it directly against us, we the people, because Scott seems like, like a regular American man living his life, and his life was turned upside down, very similar to the fentanyl deaths that experienced from our family, from the illegal immigrants killing people, and the things that they're going through. So the warfare is from the government, and I know you guys got some questions for Scott. So anybody want to? Kevin. He always raises his hand, Kevin. So I know what he wants.
I just always up in the air. What do you mean? Scott, I'm really sorry to hear about this. This is brutal. And this is the sort of thing that is as awful as it is. I think we need to talk about it. Can you tell us where this guy decided, what made him put a DNR on the clipboard when no one had discussed that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I don't know that we're ever going to know. At the trial, he said that he thought he had our permission. So wrap your head around that. It makes no sense because it was in the context of the call where we approved a feeding tube. I mean, why would we approve a feeding tube if Grace is near death? And so it doesn't make any sense. My suspicion, and I document this in the book, in the trial we did not go through anything relative to intent. It was a wrongful death trial, not a murder trial. So we didn't go through anything relative to intent. But in the book, I didn't leave anything off the table because, this is my time. Anyway, my suspicion is because we did not give a pre-authorization for a ventilator. They had asked us 5 different times to pre-authorize a ventilator, and they framed it as, just in case. These type of things tend to happen in the middle of the night when we can't get a hold of the family. And Cindy and I would never pre-authorize a ventilator. Well, a ventilator had an immediate payday after 96 hours of a $39,000 government bonus. But the average hospital stay when somebody was on a ventilator was 22 days, which meant the payout was about $300,000. And in the book, I disclosed that St. Elizabeth's Hospital, where Grace died, was at maximum capacity the day she died, and there were people waiting in the emergency room. So my personal belief is that they had to turn that bet. Grace was worth more dead than alive. They were only making $1,700 a day on Grace at the time of her death. Grace was one of, we have to frame this in a much bigger picture. So during the 39-month COVID PSYOP, Grace was one of 1.2 million. And America was number 1 of all 200 countries on the planet in COVID hospital deaths. Number 2 was India. India's population is 4 times that of the United States, but yet their death count was only 534,000, less than half. So that shows you beyond a shadow of a doubt, just that one statistic, that our country was the one behind the COVID PSYOP. But then you zoom out. COVID opened my eyes and I started studying. I have about 4,000 hours of research in the book. And the standard of care model, which you guys were talking about off camera, the standard of care model is the much bigger picture. The standard of care model was started in the early 80s. And this is the secret I reveal in the book, that this is how the United States government, through the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, controls healthcare for 99.9% of Americans, not just those on Medicare and Medicaid. And the story I share in the book happened in 2018. I went in for a physical, learned I had heart disease, and the nurse walked me out of the doctor's office after he had recommended the statin.
Of course.
And I had told him I'm not going to take the statin. And she said, Scott, I'm going to tell you something you don't want to hear. I said, what is it? She said, you have to take the statin. I said, what are you talking about? I don't have to do anything. And she said, our Medicare and Medicaid reimbursement rates are based on the percentage of our patient population that follows the standard of care. And the standard of care for heart disease is the statin. And I said, I'm not on Medicare or Medicaid. She said, you didn't hear me. It's based on our entire patient population, not just the subset on Medicare or Medicaid. And that is the secret as to how the federal government is violating the Constitution and controlling health care through Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services for 99.9% of the population.
Wow.
So, what did you do before you became? Were you a professor at a college or something?
I love that question. I must have you fooled. My background before, I've been a business owner for, since I was in my, since I was in my 20s. So I've been a business owner for 2/3 of my life. And, ultimately the background that prepped me for this is I owned a CPA firm for about 20 years. And, that experience really prepped me for being able to provide audit trails and doing research and things like that. I really didn't know I was ever going to use that again, because the current business that I own has nothing to do with accounting or CPA work, but that it's come in handy with all the research that I've done since Grace's death.
How much is this, the care for your daughter, and how much, you had to pay for that? Like, how much did that affect your, that really probably affected your business, right? The time it took, the money it took, am I correct?
That's a fantastic question. I don't think I've ever had that question asked yet. But what happened when I learned I had heart disease in May of 2018, they told me that the odds of an event, a catastrophic event, to end your life was 60% in the first 2 years. So I immediately started turning the business over to my men, and that prepared me, just like in the book of Esther, you're made for a time such as this. So my men are running the business. I'm only involved at some high-level leadership things. I work about 2 hours a week in the business. So, praise God, the business is profitable, it's mature. We've spent so far, I haven't added it up lately, but over $2 million with we did a billboard campaign, the lawsuit, and praise God, we're able to do those type of things. But the reason I have the time, and the time is the most valuable thing, is that because of having heart disease, I turned the business over to the men, and so they're running it without me.
But see, this is the point I want to make, and God bless you for what you've done and how you put up with this. But this is how COVID, and when people say, you got to get over COVID. No, I don't. Because when you see clips of Rachel Maddow saying it stops with you, when you see people in the mainstream media saying, well, it's time to start shaming the vaccinated, it takes you to the point where, and I'm not making light of any previous event in history, but when people tell me you got to get over it, imagine if in 1949 you saw German soldiers back at their job. You saw Hitler back in office saying, what's the big deal? So when people tell me to get over COVID, I'm like, you got to let that Holocaust thing go. What? Because people are still dying from COVID. People didn't get the health care they needed when they shut down the hospitals during COVID because of vaccine injury. It's in the tens of millions. But, you really got to worry about 1941. Get off of it. Because this man, this book should be in the goddamn horror section. And this is what the government is still doing to us. Back to you, sir. I'm sorry, but thank you. I yield the rest of my time.
I'm so glad that Gino doesn't get upset like that. And honestly, Scott, I don't think you have that fire like he does like that. But my thought was just what you just said blew me away. That your business, through the grace of God, you have this business, you had this background, and it kind of got you into what you're doing. Because the same thing happened with me in my business. I was a moving man. I picked things up, put them down. That's where I got the Joe the Box name from, and Johnny Blanket to wrap the furniture. We did it our whole lives. And now God, through the grace of God, has put me in a different spot where I want to bring the truth out. We wanted the borders closed. We wanted the fentanyl. We want the boats to be blown up. We enjoy that kind of news when we see that, because we lost very hurtfully, our family has changed because of that. And my business has changed. And I'm so blessed to have a son that was able to step in and kind of run that company for me, which he does every day. I look at him, he asks me questions, but my faith has brought me into a new level in my life, very similar to you, Scott. So do you see an end goal, or do you feel what would get you to the moment of peace?
Yeah, I'm at the moment of peace already. Praise God. I mean, He's given me the peace because He showed me what forgiveness looks like after Grace's death. Is how do you ever forgive the doctor and nurse who did this to your daughter? And the answer is you can't. But God can, and that's the beauty of having the gospel message. So he broke me in order that I could become a spokesperson in this walk of faith. What I see next, unless he opens up a different door, I started an outline for my second book. So the first book is The Government Legally Killing Us. The second book, outline. The outline right now is 34 pages, but I haven't started writing it yet, and it's called Is the Church Spiritually Killing Us? And then the third book, which is what I actually started working on this before the trial, and it would be, I don't know what the title would be, but I think it would be something along the lines of Escaping Babylon. As Christians, we're called to be in the world, but not of the world. And they have programmed us very purposely to have tethers to this world. And, God wants us to escape and be part of His kingdom, which is right now.
Well, the kingdom is at hand. There is no doubt in my mind. Scott, if you can, with 30 seconds left, tell people where we can find you. How do we get your book? Is it on Amazon? And I tell you, I'd like Teresa to put it up on our website that people can possibly get it from there as well. Where do we find you, Scott?
Yeah, so all of Grace's website, ouramazinggrace.net, is a depository for all the research I've done. You'll see a picture of the front cover of the book there. You can click on that. It'll give you Amazon as one of the options. We were #1 on Amazon for the first 4 weeks of the release. Praise God.
I love the way you bring it to Jesus. Thank you very much, Scott. God bless you. If we can help you, we will.
Thank you.
Me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
Get ready to move and celebrate freedom like never before. The America First Warehouse proudly presents Freedom in Motion, America 250. Join Lisa for an electrifying dance fitness fundraiser designed to get your heart pumping and your spirit soaring. This dynamic 6-week session is perfect for all fitness levels, whether you're just starting out or ready to level up your routine. Feel the energy of an epic patriotic playlist. Boost your fitness, learn exciting new moves, and relieve stress while having an absolute blast. All for just $100 per person, and it all supports a great cause. Spots are limited, so don't wait. Come dance, get fit, and celebrate America 250 in motion.
Corporate transfer. Fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country. DJ had a great question for Scott. We think he was in the northeast of Michigan. Is that what you're saying?
He was Wisconsin. And I was going to ask him, I said, I bet you're within 100 miles of a tiny town named Athelstan, Wisconsin, because no one's heard of it. He's 77 miles from there. He's outside of Green Bay.
Wow, Kevin is such a centrist in the middle of the country, but he's far right when it comes to making America
better than the Middle East.
Applestein was Johnny Appleseed's real name. He was a Jew, so they changed it.
My goodness, guy.
What? No?
I think it's
No?
great. I think it's great. I think
Take
you're
it
hilarious.
off me!
But here's what's happening. You know what's happening? Teresa is locked in the Democratic war room. She's locked in there, and she can't come out until she tells us what's happening at the warehouse. Teresa.
Good morning, team. How are you guys? It's not a bad place to be locked into, I have to say. But as long as I'm not locked in here with Democrats. But I'm here to bring you all the great stuff coming up and what we just did. So this past Saturday, as we told you last week, we had the 1916 Project documentary screening here. We had the White Rose Resistance with us here in person, some of their representatives, along with Soundview Pregnancy Services for a fundraiser. It was also a collaborative fundraiser for them. Such a compelling documentary. We had a room full of great patriots watching this documentary with us. So if you want to learn more about them, actually, I do have a QR code for Soundview Pregnancy Services and as well as the White Rose Resistance, who made that documentary.
Can people watch that movie? How do they get it?
They can go to the website. I believe you can watch it on the Daily Wire. We were lucky they gave us a link to show, but I do believe you can get it through that QR code. So I'm going to tell all of you, it's really awe-inspiring because it tells you about Margaret Sanger, eugenics, how Planned Parenthood started, and really the demonic ideologies that stem from that. So please check that out. And the very next day, as we told you last week, we had a rally in Belmore. It was the Meet the Candidates rally. And just a quick clip there of Joe the Box doing the pledge like he always does. Rally season started, and there's a flyer on our website with all the dates coming up through the end of the year. So please join us. We just kicked off rally season. So last week also, as we told you, we completed our 14-show lineup. We have 14 shows being produced out of the America First Media and Television studios here at the warehouse. We are very proud of that. 10 of them are weekly, 4 of them are monthly, and if you scan that QR code, you can see all of our great shows there. And on Thursday nights is our Faith and Freedom night here. It's where we honor really all about Jesus and God on Thursday nights. We have Bible study with Tom and Amanda Weirman, and immediately following, we have Christ to Conquer the Nations with Pastor Crystal. And we are bringing you Guitar Legends on May 9th, and we love when we have a concert here at the warehouse. We get to have all the Patriots in. We rock the house out with Joe Cumia. You'll probably see him on some of our shows next Tuesday, so don't miss that. We cannot wait. And we will be starting our Freedom in Motion fundraiser here at the America First Warehouse, and that is dance fitness to a patriotic lineup, getting you in shape for a 6-week course leading up to the 4th of July. So please check that out on our website as well. And then we're going to bring you the mayor's birthday. We are honored to host Mayor Rudy Giuliani's birthday. Joe and Johnny got to spend some time with him on Saturday, and we just love having him here. So there's going to be some surprises and some great things happening on his birthday on May 30th. So please check the website for those tickets. And on June 20th, AMAC is coming back for the Patriots, Boot Camp for Patriots event, which is an incredible event. They come with an all-star lineup. We're going to have the Freedom Bus here. In fact, fellas in the control room, if you want to run that clip really quick while I'm telling the folks about it, the White House has 6 Freedom Trucks buses going out for America 250. I heard they're hard to get to your location, and we're very blessed to have one here on June 19th and 20th. It's a mobile museum honoring America 250. No better place to have this bus, right? So we're very excited about that. Also, we're bringing to you a new event that we're just telling you about today, which is our partners, Studio TST. Michael Loftus will be in-house on July 3rd, the day before the big A250, and you won't want to miss that. The last show they did here had the crowd laughing, clapping, singing along. It'll be a great 4th of July Eve event to go to. And our item of the month is the One God, One Nation shirt. It's a great conversation starter. You can get that here in our venue or on our website. And then we're going to shout out our partners and affiliates. And we have for you all Patriot conservative alternatives. We have goldensilveraccount.com. We have My Patriot Travel through Mike Lindell. I'm sorry, I keep doing that every week. We have My Patriot Travel, and then we have My Pillow with Mike Lindell, and both are awesome for very different reasons. We have our health and wellness stuff, Tallow Honey Gold. We have LifeWave and LifeVantage, all health and wellness things that we love and trust. And to recap all that, you can go to our website, which you can scan that QR code there, and that'll give you all the details and explore more on what I just said. And the best way to support us these days is our new free app that you can get on Apple and Google. And thank you so much for supporting us. And back to you, team.
I got to tell you, I'm really excited. I think there's a new Patriot coffee that's going to be coming through here. It's a mushroom coffee. Oh, look at that, mushroom coffee. Wow, all right. I understand it does great things for you. You know,
I drink mushroom coffee.
What I love, thank you, Teresa.
And I'll be switching to hours, of course.
Of course.
We'll have that out by next Tuesday. We'll have a link, and we'll have that ready to rock for our viewers to see.
Right. Well, you know what we're doing? We're organizing patriot people that love the country, citizens of the country, right across the board. They love what we're doing. We want to partner with them because I don't want to spend one nickel outside of what belongs here into the United States.
Absolutely.
I think that's the message, right?
And lastly, on my end, we will be bringing you very soon. We're going to be becoming partners with, we're in the works right now with Patriot Mobile and Old Glory Bank, and there's some other good ones that are coming out. We want our viewers and our audience to support these conservative organizations because I don't want my money going anywhere else either. So there's great things still coming to you every day from the America First Warehouse.
You know, I love that you brought Scott in. Thank you for that, Teresa. And I love the conversation, what I had with him. What he had made me feel hopeful. Because we want to continue here at the America First Warehouse. This is something that has started, and we're not going to be here forever. There's a lot of limitations in the location that we have, but the America First is not going to give up. We can't give up. We have to fight it all the way to the end. And, you know, I think that there's a better place for us. That's what it's all about, right? Where do you see the America First movement going? Let's go around the corner with that one. Johnny boy?
Hopefully all in the right direction because there's no country greater than America. You know, hey, look, we're just biding our time right now. Trump's a maniac. He's got new stuff coming in and out. We can't even keep up with him. But things are going to be happening soon in our lifetimes to see this corruption come to a head, some arrests being made. I don't know. Of course I pray for it, but I really feel it's going to happen pretty soon because, it's so blatant, so obvious. But anyway, because we're here at the America First Warehouse, we can talk about these things, and everybody wants to talk about it too.
Yeah. Lisa, what do you see coming up?
I think that any type of change, sometimes although we regress from it, actually provides us with a new type of growth. And so any change that comes for the America First Warehouse, I'm going to cheer on, I'm going to support. I know that all of the followers, this place has grown tremendously from when you began it, Joe, and I have to applaud you for that. And John and your wife and everyone, Teresa, all of the people who were here at the foundation of it. I'm honored to be a part of it, and anything we do moving forward is going to be fantastic. All of these people who already support, the investors involved as far as the promoters that Teresa just mentioned, I'm sure we'll be looking forward to moving on to something even better.
I don't see it ending at all. I do see it getting better and blossoming. Gino, how do you see things going for the America First movement? Not just the America First Warehouse, but let's say MAGA America First.
Well,
What do you
I
see?
think it's first with the warehouse. I'd like to key on what you said. I am a new type of growth here at the warehouse, and I think what we always talk about here. It's when we say God, like however you define it. Without God, there is no gratitude. And if you don't believe in some higher power, you're an arrogant, you're a Democrat. You're an arrogant, smug idiot. You are, who thinks you know everything and not only don't ask questions, but don't listen to the questions that are asked of you. Right. And the questions that are asked are the ones that are asking all beckon to you to use one thing: common sense. Okay, and that's what we're looking at here. Just go with your gut. Be good to other people, and that's the movement that I think we're doing here in the best way. We're just having a good time pointing out the facts, and we just saw that poor gentleman who points out, hopefully, that this henchman of Fauci will go down, because Fauci had 2 jobs. That's 2 more than we've had in years. 2 jobs. Keep us informed and keep us from panicking. And you saw in so many stories like that, so many, like, people were confused and terrified. And I just imagine them in this, like Mr. Burns going, this is excellent, exactly how we want it. So that's the movement. Go with your gut, use your common sense, and be grateful.
So it sounds very positive for you, Gino. How about you, KDJ?
We're winning every day. Every day we win more. All right. There's so much good news coming out. Fauci's in trouble. 22 Leering centers are being raided right now as we speak throughout the greater Minneapolis area. Trump, they made a mistake. They keep trying to kill him. The harder they try, the more he's going to inflict pain upon them. It's going to get really good. Pop your popcorn. It will get ugly. But remember, all we're doing, the cancer's there. It's going to be scary when we see how much there is, but we're winning. Stick around. It'll be fun. We're living in biblical times.
I believe it's biblical as well. I believe the movement of the American citizenship is so strong. I mean, just look at how silly they are. I mean, I love you guys on your show and what you bring out when you come up with some of these. What do you have? The breakfast brawl. Is that what you call it?
The Waffle House brawl. We have that.
Yep, we have that. We have what's old Hank been smoking? Oh, God. That's my favorite one. Hank Johnson.
Did you see Hank Johnson's latest thing? He was at a trial for all these angel mothers, and he's like, "Why?" And he literally was like, "I don't know why we don't have ICE on trial because of Trump." And they looked at him like, "Are you out of your mind?" And he is. He is. Like,
we have to wait till tomorrow for this show, or is it today? We have to wait till tomorrow to see your guys' show. Tomorrow?
Yeah. Well, we're going to be hanging out in the warehouse later, having some food, smoking some sticks. If you want to hang with the good guys.
Yeah, because I have a bunch of notes I wanted to go over. And
go over.
Well, you know what? We're going to have a bonus segment right here. We're going to go one more segment. I already got it approved from upstairs, and so it's going to be no holds bar. I got some questions in mind, and I want to say that. The political violence that these morons are talking about. Did you see them? Because we're going to go into that. Because I've been really liking this beatdown idea that we had, but I don't really want to encourage it. I don't really want to encourage the violence, but they are so violent. Look at my shoulder. I can hardly move it. It was ripped out by one of them maniacs. Get that video clip,
You gotta be careful.
Can we play that?
Be careful.
When searching for the best deals when they travel. But here's the shocking truth. 100% of the major travel agencies are owned by just 2 entities, Expedia and Booking Holdings. They claim to offer the lowest rates, but due to the hotel rate parity agreement, they all have the same pricing, limiting genuine competition. When you book through these sites, you act as your own travel agent. But the profits are going to organizations that don't support our patriot values. We cannot allow that to continue. So, we decided to make travel great again by starting a US-based travel membership platform, mypatriottravel.com. We are patriots helping patriots. Together, we can disrupt the travel industry by not spending our hard-earned dollars supporting the radical left. For just $29.99 per month, you gain access to true wholesale rates on travel, saving you on average 35% and up to 65%. Book as often as you like, with no limits. Keep your hard-earned dollars in your pocket and spend them on things you need and want to support. Go to mypatriottravel.com/TAFW and grab your membership today. mypatriottravel.com/TAFW, making travel great again.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin. Just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
I'm sure you guys remember the platinum single, Justice for All, with Donald Trump and the J6 Prison Choir. Well, get ready for round 2. We're coming out with Anthem of the Free with High Res and the J6 Prison Choir. It's coming out now. It's pre-sale until December 19th when it drops. Get yours on all platforms, Google Play, Apple iTunes. Get it. It's going to be hot.
Justice for all, our voices ring. The anthem of the free.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see. A symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. The America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
Most people.
Yeah, we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. Is that a glitch in the system? We're back. We're back. We're back.
Glitch in the
We are
matrix.
back. And this is bonus time right here. No holds bar. All right, that's what I like about it. I don't like that guy Barr, though, by the way. Did I say that? I think that guy, remember the district attorney? No, the attorney
Barr.
general.
Bill Barr?
Bill Barr, yeah. Is he in any trouble? Anybody know?
Yeah, they caught him lying. He's going to be brought up on charges as well. You know, everything's coming out. I mean, the Southern District of Florida has some good cases against the conspiracy, Obama and whole thing. That's what it boils down to. They started all this.
Did
division.
Obama
They
marry
started-
a man, Gino?
Did he?
It's a
I
yes
don't
or no.
know. I don't know, but I do know that Obama just ruined the country. I do know.
Do you
that,
know
man.
what a man is, Gino?
I can't define a man. Oh yes, any man that comes to the America First Warehouse and hangs out with us. That's a
Any man that skips rope the way you do is not really a man, I don't think.
That's
Did
how
you see
Daddy
that?
do. I had to start jumping cross ropes during the lockdown because God forbid they shut down gyms and places that kept you healthy, but they kept McDonald's open. Thank God. You
Kevin, is
fat
there any
bastard.
location that you get the truth out of? What's your? I love the way you come up with your great stuff. Where do you get your best material?
I'll never tell. No, do you mean like the news stuff?
Well, I'll tell you what. Yesterday, Sunday, I saw you and you were hilarious. You cracked me up because somebody asked a question about carrying bear spray, and you had the answer. I wish we had that one on video because that was a good one.
Well, they didn't know it was legal. It's illegal here in Long Island or something.
Not at all. It is legal. Pepper spray.
So you didn't have to take your jacket off?
Is I didn't have to take it off. It turns out it's legal. So are various stun guns. You know, the zappers. Those are
Really?
legal. You got to check because it changes county to county too sometimes. But you can carry pepper gel, which I highly recommend. Better than pepper spray because pepper spray flies away, but the gel goes. Psst, it's silly string. Yeah. It's like getting banged up by Spider-Man just psst, in your face.
And the nice thing about that is that they touch it and then they'll spread it around.
Yeah, if you hit them in the face, they'll go like this, and now it's just everywhere.
I think I'm going to task Teresa to go find me a patriotic affiliation with pepper spray, pepper gel, and any of those defensive things. I want an electrical one. We had a guy spit in our face. Remember that, Johnny?
Yeah, they fit easily in the pocketbook, and if it's available, yeah, it'll stop a lot. Unfortunately, we have to look over our shoulders now. If you wear a Trump hat or anything like that, you have a chance of getting hurt with it. And why risk that? So when somebody comes up and gets in your space, I would like to get the can of that spray too. Put me on the list, please.
Yeah, I don't know if Lisa
Give me
carries
two of
one
them.
in a pocketbook, but I know she hangs around with Anthony, and just having him around is pretty safe, right? What do you do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've got the best protection.
You get the fear of death with him, but a pepper spray lasts a little bit longer.
I love it. I want to talk about one thing. Wait, the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, all right, getting caught on the hook for they promoted hate and then fundraised off it and
They were stopping hate, right? They were supposed to stop hate.
fundraised off of stopping hate while they were promoting it. This is like huge.
They were paying Ku Klux Klan members.
Paying
And
them.
Nazis.
Okay.
Did you see a check? I didn't see a check. Where was this money go?
You racist. You should. It was
You know who the biggest, who I think it's going to be uncovered, two of the biggest recipients of the money was? The NFL. With their end racism in the end zone, and the NBA with their Black Lives Matter during the bubble, because so many people watch that, you know, and they're like, what better way to say, oh my goodness, we must be, if I bet, let's say I bet $500 on an NFL game, and some Mexican kicker misses a field goal wide left. Now I'm going to want to call him a word that rhymes with tick, but I'm not, because it says end racism in the end zone. No. No one that's racist is watching black people and Mexican people play basketball and football. You understand? So stop thinking they're curing it by taking money from the SPLC.
Right.
Crooks, our money.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Exactly.
Now, Lisa, you didn't get a chance to answer that because Gino was so overwhelming. I might have to move him to the other side of the stage next week. But do you wear a red hat? Do you go out like that, or do you find yourself just trying to be?
I have no fear. I wear what I want, and I encourage anyone to debate me on it. So that's how I approach it. I'm going to take it from an education standpoint, but I'll tell you what riled people recently, not too long ago. I was wearing an NRA hat. I switched it up a little, and I went NRA, and it was a very interesting discussion that extended from that. But you know what? When you appreciate your Second Amendment and you're knowledgeable, unlike the representative was from Connecticut that spoke with Zeldin, you can have people understand. And most of them came out, why do you support guns? And, guns kill. I said, no, people kill.
Mm-hmm.
And right there, the conversation takes a different turn. So that's just something to think about.
Would they yell at you or threaten you with violence?
Well, it's I didn't get it as bad as the two of you have. I want to say that maniac in the pharmacy, but they will. Shockingly enough, it's not usually women who want to approach. It's because they're not quite sure because we're kind of on equal level, so they're wondering does she have a gun on her. In Florida, the conversation never happens, but we're in New York.
Yeah, but
so.
John, you had another incident in New York, in St. James, 7-Eleven.
And I well, you got to think about it. You want to wear the colors or not, because I'm proud to be an American, so my American flag, you figure that, okay, that's pretty safe, but it's not. And I had a little Trump sticker on the back of my pickup truck, and a big guy comes in, and he's, who's the Trump guy? And then right on top of me, because I thought his head was going to explode. It didn't get to anything that I was going to have a lawsuit with 7-Eleven or anything like that. But, the words exchanged, and I was a little bit loud, and, because of my loss of my son, my love for Donald Trump is beyond you can imagine. Only one I expected more besides my father than Donald Trump. But, I'm tired of it. But unfortunately, I got to get that. Where's that spray? Eye spray. I want to make sure I'm on the list.
We're gonna affiliate ourselves with one of them
just
Patriot bear spray companies. There's got to be something out there. Maybe Kevin can hook us up with his supplier.
Well, if they come in, spit on the van or something like that, I think we're allowed to spray them on that. Is that a good one?
Well,
the way I see it, yeah.
You're gonna like this one. They carved a big penis on the back of the van, with a key or something, a penis, and they were like, fuck ICE is what they wrote on it as well. So we rubbed it down and stuff, and I just wonder if the guy that
You rubbed down that big penis?
It got bigger?
He did write a big penis in there.
Better.
And I just wondered if he knew what a penis was, or if it was a man or a. Who do you think would have done that, Gino?
Well, somebody that doesn't know what it is.
Gino sounds like John. I'm trying to direct the show over here.
What did I do?
You didn't write it, did you?
Idiots.
I know. And it's wherever you go.
But this is their level of logic when I say idiots. They're like, well, just put a big penis on it. Damn it, they got us.
Yeah, oh, my goodness. I rubbed it right out, though. Kevin, when you drive, you wear flags and you wear hats. You have no fear at all.
I have no fear.
He has the spray.
I'm so angry. You know what? I got to tell you, when Trump took that bullet and Butler PH stood up and said, fight, 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 I said, I'm never going to be afraid of anything ever again having to do with politics. I wear what I want. People don't like it. I've had some guy get in my face, and I just, clown slapped him verbally, and he ran away. Because they have nothing to stand up on. We're always going to be funnier than they are. We're always going to be. We're always going to have the facts. Trump, he's a pedophile. I said, yeah, you voted for a guy who showered with his daughter. Shut up. He's like, and he went away.
Nah, but I'm telling you, they get physical. For some reason, for me, they're getting physical, and I don't like it. I'm hesitant and stuff. I had Ice Baby on the side of the van. I put a sticker on it. Because I thought maybe it was too much. I just don't want to be beat up anymore.
Some things trigger them even more.
Two people today in 2 hours at the airport doing my radio show. I'm in the little fishbowl there. People walking by, they see the hat. Every one of them. I wear my ICE hat. Yeah, everyone is on Team Trump. They keep saying, well, it's just polls say that. Everyone's on Team Trump.
Yeah.
Everyone wants him to win.
It's fun to sneak it out of comedy shows, isn't it? Because people are so used to thinking all these liberal. I'm like, it's okay to. I said it Saturday night. I'm like, it's okay. We all like Trump, and they all know. I'm sure but it's more people than you would think. And then the people that think like, oh, we're all just proud Democrats, they all just back down because they have nothing to say.
Yep.
Nothing.
How do you see the midterms coming up, Lisa?
Well, something, there's a lot to say about how they're finally breaking down the election and voting, but disappointed in hearing that Thune is not backing the voter ID. So I'm hoping that that will get resolved sooner rather than later. However, the fact that there's more attention being paid now to these interference with election and votes and who's out there voting. We found out in Minnesota that they could basically have a voter ID. They can get a license, never have to admit that they are a non-citizen. These types of things are finally coming to the forefront. So hopefully we're going to go in a better direction. But I don't really see what Trump's going to do to make sure that it does get locked in safely. This is going to be a big deal.
I'm sure he's going to do whatever he has to because he knows how important this is.
Yeah.
We have no country without a SAVE Act. We have no country if our citizens aren't doing the voting and they continue on their path. It's got to be unacceptable.
So what's up with this guy Thune? What state does he come from?
Texas.
I honestly
He's a
don't know.
Texan?
I think he's a Texan. Is he Oklahoma?
I'm sure I don't know.
Gary knows.
Well,
If he was,
Gary, where's
is he
Thune
from
from?
Texas?
Thune, the senator. Yeah,
Hale?
I think so too. Yeah, Hale.
Yeah.
Hale, isn't that road in Texas? Hale in
I
Texas.
mean, because honestly, he can really end it all. He could just do this filibuster thing. Because don't you think that the Democrats are going to do the same thing?
100%.
KDJ?
100%. They're going to break the filibuster. They're going to throw on D.C. and Puerto Rico as states. That's going to give them a big jump in as far as the Senate goes. Then they're going to pack the Supreme Court with 3 more justices. They'll pick who it is. And this nation will be over. That's why we vote in the midterms. I know gas is a little expensive. It's coming down. Folks, you can't give up now. We need the midterms, all right? Trump winning the second time around gave us the opportunity to fight.
What kills me is
South Dakota.
these people that go in there and they use that. They lie. This is what we stand for, and then when they get in there, it's completely different.
Yep.
The lies have been told to us for the last 10, 15 years. It's very hard for me to accept. I just can't do it. I'm not going to give up. We got to keep the America First going.
Yeah.
Last word, Kev.
Me?
Yeah.
We're going to win, folks. I know it looks ugly now and then, but we've got this. I promise you. All you have to do is vote, Gino.
Always say 47 after Trump. When you say Trump 47, it reminds them that they lost, and it reminds them that they couldn't cheat, and it will scare them to make them realize they're not going to cheat again.
Lisa.
Go on.
And the fact that a judge overturned Virginia's gerrymandering, we look good. So that didn't happen. So
Johnny, pass the SAVE Act. Call your senator. Let's get this thing passed. I know Trump will help it out and make sure it
No
goes.
crying except you, Luca.
For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free in the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be. America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of hope, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America,